As the thumbnail for this video suggests, today we're addressing the dark side of Black Ops 6, AI. Undeniable proof has arisen that AI has been used in several aspects of the game. First, it was theorized that the prestige icons were generated using AI tools due to some inconsistencies with the double sleeves, shown in this icon, and a couple of other icons as well. But since the new Merry Mayhem event dropped, it's blatantly clear that they are relying on AI rather than artists or even just in-game screenshots, which would have been just fine in this case. All of the telltale signs of AI generation are there. Inconsistencies with the amount of fingers. Necroclaws here has 6 fingers, this guy holding the Gobblegums has 2 pinkies, and the high contrast gloss presentation, which a majority of AI generated images have, is also proudly displayed here. Art is supposed to imitate life, yet these images used are trying to resemble reality as art, but fail to do so because it's simply not real art. Even before I knew about the accusations, something about the presentation of these images just felt very off. Images like these have always given me an uncanny valley feeling. Like this background image on screen. Nothing seems to make sense here. Is the zombie facing towards us or away from us? Are we seeing a third arm growing out of his torso? If so, he should have a chiropractor check that out, since that shit's on backwards. Plus, this tree has so much mass, and then all of a sudden it disappears behind this other tree, and boom, that high contrast gloss bullshit is also here. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit much on this, but I take artwork very seriously. And I love to support these artists, especially if I enjoy their work. I have commissioned a few pieces from my local artists that I proudly display, and seeing this absolute slop drives me insane. It's hard to describe this feeling I get when looking at these images. It just feels wrong, and I couldn't stand to look at them for too long. And now it all makes sense. It's all fake. They are amalgamations of computer-generated images created in seconds by someone typing in a vague prompt. Now, normally I suppose they would have someone go in and Photoshop and fix all the inconsistencies to spruce things up a bit for presentation. However, it seems they didn't even bother to do that and just threw it in there haphazardly. There are so many examples of these slip-ups that it's got me asking the question, is this AI? Is this AI? Is this AI? I feel like with my minimal knowledge of Photoshop and a random AI tool I find online, I can make a better calling card than this. Hire me, Activision, so I can turn you down. Some might be saying, oh, it's just a calling card, or oh, it's just an emblem. If you don't like it, don't use it. The calling cards, emblems, or whatever they give us are not the main issue. The main problem is the dehumanization in the content creation space. We see it every day on YouTube, TikTok, fucking Facebook. Hundreds of thousands of AI voices, images, videos, and slop created to waste our times and make them as much money as they possibly can with as little effort as possible. Every day we stray closer to this dystopian society completely run off of computer-generated bullshit with no soul or originality to be seen. It scares the absolute piss out of me. And now we see this happening in real time. A lot of other content creators have already covered this several times, so I'm just going to give off some cliff notes here. If you want more details, you can always do some more research here on YouTube. The latest Black Ops 6 update gave us some awesome zombies content, but also took something very important away from us for what seems to be the greediest of reasons possible. Some of you may have noticed that there are a couple voice actors who have been replaced in this game. All of Sam's old voice lines have been completely removed from the game, and another voice actor's performance was replaced by it. But do you know why? Well, the organization that these voice actors are a part of, SAG-AFTRA, or the Screen Actors Guild and American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, are on a massive strike due to the lack of protections against generative AI and the computer-generated content using members' performance as a base model. This basically means that AAA studios like Activision and Microsoft were actually planning to use data and past voice lines of these actors to build an AI model to basically replace them for free. SAG-AFTRA is fighting to place these new regulations and protections for these artists, and all Activision has to do is negotiate and either accept or deny these. To no one's surprise, they have not answered SAG-AFTRA in a meaningful way as of yet, and instead decided to toss out the voice lines for Sam and recast new actors that are most likely not under the protection of SAG-AFTRA. This is the most dystopian thing I have ever seen. They were planning to create AI models of actual people to farm infinite content instead of actually hiring new talent and paying them. You can't get more evil and sinister than this. Imagine being a voice actor, and the game studio of your dreams hires you for a role that you absolutely adore. Then, after a few years of playing this role in multiple games, they tell you your services are no longer needed for their newest project, and kick you to the curb. On your drive home, you wonder, what could you have done wrong? You played your part so well, and you spent years learning every aspect of this character, and embodied it like no one else could. What could have gone wrong? You then go home to see a friend or sibling play that new game, and all of a sudden you see the character you were supposed to play on screen. You expected to hear someone else entirely speak from this character's perspective, however, your hair stands on end when the voice you hear is your own, tone-deaf and soulless. You have never spoken these lines before in your life, but here you are listening to them. This imitation of you continues to talk and interact with the rest of the cast as if nothing has changed. Reality sets in, and you realize a part of you has been stolen, and you knew nothing of it. Apparently, this is the reality these studios want. They think nothing of the lives of the people hard at work creating their visions, and will do anything to cut corners on cost. Which begs the question, how far does this reliance on AI go for Black Ops 6? What does the future hold for COD Zombies? Will we see the return of these iconic actors, or is this truly the end? And how can we stop this from happening? Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm just a guy with a computer and a microphone with opinions. As far as how to stop it, that seems simple. The answer is money. Money seems to be the only thing that they really care about these days, so stopping the flow of cash is the most effective way to get anyone off their ass to do something. I never really saw the appeal to purchasing these in-game bundles and cosmetics. It just seems like a complete waste of money to me, no matter how you look at it. Plus, I can't help but cringe at some of these god-awful designs that offer no real value to the game, other than letting the opposing team see you better since you fucking glow in the dark now. I mean, seriously, they might as well just put the mystery box beam on your character, that way everyone can see you bought the extra special edition. $20 for a skin is outrageous, especially when I already spent $70 for the base game. Then you add on the fact that the majority of these may have been fabricated by AI, and the allure to them, or whatever remains of it, completely disappears for me. I've already contributed to this horrific outcome by purchasing this game on launch, and it just makes me sick knowing that this is all happening behind the scenes, and I have a hand in it. So I'm just not going to give any more money to this sinking ship until something drastic happens. And even then, I still don't have any intentions of buying any extra bullshit for this game, since none of it even carries over anyway, and none of it looks even halfway decent to me anymore. And by drastic change, I mean like a complete change in management. Get Activision out of here. Or if my lifelong dream of Treyarch severing themselves from the cyst that is Activision and creating a standalone zombies game comes true. Does anyone want to help me find the Dragon Balls? It puts me in a very tough spot. I love COD Zombies. Always have and always will. Despite its flaws, I really do like what we have with Black Ops 6, especially the new map Citadel des Morts that exceeded my expectations in almost every way. I want to cover more content regarding Black Ops 6 Zombies, and zombies in general. It's why this channel exists, and it's what I love. I want to make more videos and get better at scripting and editing while doing it, but stuff like this always seems to be an issue, with controversies being unearthed almost daily, and it's starting to erode my passion for this franchise. I feel like it's only a matter of time until there's just nothing left. Sorry to end this video on a somber note, but this conduct coming from Activision is just unacceptable. This information needs to be shared. These artists need to be valued in their profession, not replaced to cut costs. Technology like this is endangering the entire profession as a whole, and if it continues, it will only get worse. If we let this slide, they'll just implement AI elsewhere to cut even more costs until the entire product is virtually generated for little to no cost. The entertainment we love will be turned into soulless, meaningless garbage with no human touch to be seen. Thank you for watching.